Welcome to our stem cell patching party. I'm so excited to have Dr. Dawn Sparks with us today. She is a longevity medicine specialist, a pain management physician here in Kauai. And Dr. Dawn, why are you utilizing stem cell within your practice now?
Hi, Marcy. Thanks so much for having me here tonight. It's so exciting to talk to everybody about stem cells. We know that stem cells are the precursor cells that help to regenerate things and to help decrease inflammation. So by using stem cells in our practices in a way that can help us to optimize the cell in general, we can promote longevity, decrease inflammation, and upregulate the antioxidant cascades that we need so much for health and wellness.
So, what do you think, doctor, about light technology and light as a healing modality?
I think that there's so much information from the time that these patents were created and approved, and the light work that is relevant from the physics of how this process works and how it can stimulate just the stem cells to create more and more products. Because every year after 30, our stem cells decrease. So at this point, and with our age now, we want to increase our stem cells and our ability to create more stem cells. And by using this light technology, we can just start that cascade naturally within our own bodies.
So many regenerative doctors are talking about light peptides and stem cells. What is a peptide? Why are longevity doctors talking peptides right now?
Well, peptides have gotten a lot of talk, mostly centered around like the Ozempic and the Mounjaro, because those are peptides as well, and those are stimulating a way to decrease the insulin sensitivity in order to help people lose weight. And then the other peptides that are very relevant here is to also start other cascades that can help, well, again, with increasing the number of antioxidants our system produces, and then also for allowing other ways to decrease inflammation, which can lead to all kinds of pain conditions and health problems. So when you see people like on things that are peptides for weight loss, they're having added effects in other areas too, like decreased risk of heart disease, decreased risk of diabetes, increased antioxidants that allow their autoimmune diseases to decrease, and so much more.
It's interesting, doctor. I know that you have been using personally the X39, and this is a patch that literally reflects your own light. So it's a phototherapy or light that elevates a peptide GHK that activates your stem cells to repair and regenerate you just like when you were younger. So it's interesting that you are using a technology that's really talking about light peptides and stem cells. And I want to show everyone what it looks like. It looks kind of like a patch. It's sticky like this, and you actually stick it on your body, and it reflects your own light to make change in your body to elevate a peptide, GHK copper peptide. And that peptide actually calls on your stem cells and tells them to work again like they did when you were young. And why are you wearing this? And why are you liking this type of wearable technology?
Well, I think first of all, the wearable technology is got to be the easiest that we have out there, right? Like you put a patch on, you leave it on for 12 hours, you take it off later. It's very easy. And then the added effect is not only do we have the X39 or the X49 to increase the GHK, then we have other patches like the Nirvana patch or the glutathione patch or these other patches that can utilize a lot of other parts of increasing the antioxidant levels and to better health and wellness. So if you wear a glutathione patch on your chest, perhaps, and the X39 chest maybe on the back of your neck, again, most of these are not even visible because you're putting clothes on over them and people don't even know that you're wearing them. And then you put them on in the morning, take them off in the night, like rinse and repeat, and you're getting all of these added benefits. And the more that you use the patches, the more that you see the technology working for you in a long-term way. And I've had so many patients and so many colleagues and friends who have utilized the patches who have the same experience of like, you know what, I forgot my patches. I went on a trip or something. I forgot them for a couple days and the pain came back. Or my sugar started to be under balance again. Now, none of these things can necessarily cure diseases. That's not what we're trying to say, but it can certainly help to improve and regulate the amount of things that you're doing and the longevity overall.
You know, it's so interesting that you talk about that because I have to tell you, before LifeWave, which is a patch technology, a wearable light technology, my cupboard was full of pills. Pills, pills, pills. Do you know I don't really have pills in my cupboard anymore. Like I wear patches, and it is so nice not to have to drink down a bucket full of pills. I have to tell you, it has been so refreshing just to put a patch on.
Yes, and so many people do not like shots or do not like taking pills or do not like to have these like old school kind of modalities to help their pain and their illnesses. And by using the patch technology, again, it simplifies things for them.
You know, it's interesting. I learned from Dr. Rhonda Donahue. She's a regenerative doctor, much like you. I know you're a longevity specialist, but you know, it's doctors like you where I learned so much. And you know what she told me, doctor? She said, Marcy, here's the thing. When you wear this patch and you activate your stem cells to start working again like they did when you were like 10, she says, what's interesting is your young stem cell army starts marching and they start now marching. And they were not marching before because by the time you're like 60, which I am, all your stem cells go dormant. They're not dead, they go dormant. But this patch has them start marching like they're young again. And stem cells that are young are unique in that they're the only cells in your body that are changeable. They can change into whatever cell your body needs for repair. So I like to think about it like this, doctor. The army starts marching and they start repairing all those age-related issues. You know what I mean? The stuff
Sure.
guys get, you know,
Well,
the
and that's
yeah,
the beauty, that's the real beauty of the patch, right? Like so if you're
yes.
wearing X39 and it's gonna like stimulate the GHK, and then you're wearing like the glutathione and it's helping with more antioxidants, and maybe you're wearing them simultaneously, that stuff's happening all on its own. So wherever your body needs it most, those little stem cell marchers are going to that place first. So you may be wearing it thinking it's for that knee pain, and it may decide like your heart needs some work first. It's going to march over to your heart. And so you're like, oh, it's not working, it's not working. But if you give it time and it helps repair the heart and it helps repair the other things that are going on in the inflammation cascade, then you'll start to notice subsequently you'll also have some decreased pain in that knee that you are wearing them for in the first place.
You know, I love that. You know, the whole reason I even started these patches was because 6 years ago I had a reoccurrence of breast cancer and I was devastated. And when my girlfriend gave me 10 and I started wearing them, like the first 2 days, the taste of chemo metal came detoxifying out of my mouth. Day
Oh,
5, my skin got soft. And by day 10, I just felt like I was 20 again. I was just like, oh my gosh, what has happened to me? I knew that I had to share it with the world. And today it's been 5 years. I've been in remission. And I'm just so happy. You know, I'm just so happy to be alive, doctor.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think that that's the important thing is like obviously people are going to have varied results through all of this, but like giving it a good college try and just using them consistently and regularly and seeing the difference that they can make on their overall health system, it's miraculous.
You know, I love what you said about, you know, David Schmidt, the owner, inventor, and CEO of this company. He's made a lot of technologies. And what I'm going to tell you this, and I want your opinion. I don't usually talk about this with other people, but you're a longevity doctor, so you're going to appreciate it. So many of his technologies elevate peptides. You know, X39 elevates GHK peptide that activates your stem cells to work like they're young. X49 elevates AHK peptide in the brain and the heart to protect brain and heart, build lean muscle mass. So peptides. Increases a peptide in the liver. It's the RJP, the royal jelly peptide. Yes, the peptide queen bees eat. And it happens to reduce inflammation in your whole body. And then it's not just about peptides. He then elevates glutathione. You know, the blue zone people, why they live 100 years, their glutathione is elevated. And
Yes.
then energy. activates mitochondria, the powerhouse of every cell of the body. And Alavita lengthens telomeres. You know, telomeres, the indication of how long you're going to live. Like David Schmidt understands the pillars of longevity, and his patches through light basically elevate all the pillars. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of amazing.
For sure. I mean, if I understand and remember correctly from the stories I've been told and read about before, when I was reading the original patent that he wrote the patent for the energy patch, and he wanted it for the Navy SEALs because they weren't allowed to use any kind of stimulant medication that's prescription based. So they use these energy patches to keep going because those Navy SEALs have to work so hard and do some of the most grueling work of anyone we've probably ever heard of. And then once that was approved and he saw that this patch technology was good and he got the contract from the US government for the Navy SEALs, then he was like, you know what? Let me try to do these other things. And I think if I remember correctly, he would like to live to be like 150 himself. So utilizing these to allow people who maybe are being born today to live 150, because we're learning all of these things as we continue this path and this push to longevity, I think that that's just an amazing feat, because if you think about it, not even 50 some years ago, people didn't necessarily live past 50 or 55.
You know, what's interesting, Dawn, is everything's going to change. And David Schmidt is the owner, inventor, and CEO of LifeWave, and he's at the forefront of longevity. I love that you said that. And do you know, we just found out yesterday that now he's the holder of 200 patents? 200.
Wow.
That's a lot
Wow.
of patents, doctor.
That's a lot. That is
And
a
I
lot.
have to tell you one other story because this is new, and I don't know if you know this, that he created this. Okay, ready for this? He's
Yes.
been researching lobsters. And did you know that lobsters live 500 years? And he wanted to know why?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
500 years.
That's
And
wild.
and he said it's in their blood. Blood is
Whoa.
life. Life is blood. And he said he went and he realized in lobster blood there's 3 light codes that allow them to live 500 years. Then he went and, because he's a Christian, he went and decoded the Old Testament. Guess what he found?
The
The
light
same,
code?
yes, the same 3 light codes. So now
Oh,
he made a
wild.
water machine, right? And
Yeah.
it puts the light codes in water in 45 minutes and you drink it, and it's patented, of course. One of the 200 patents. And that
Oh,
will be out in about 6 months.
well, then we better start drinking some of that light water.
I know, right? I knew you would like that.
That's amazing. That's such a great story. And just a testament to like his research of like, okay, why does this animal live this long? And how do we bring that back to the human kind, like the human beings, why don't we live that long? Why, like, we have the biggest brain, but why can't we figure out how to live as long as like a lobster?
Right? And what's interesting is that's what he researches. It's not like, you know how some companies, it's like, oh, let's just make a new flavor of a powder. No,
Yeah.
David's like, why do lobsters live 500 years? And what can we learn from that? And how can we use light to make us live longer? I mean, that's what it's all about. And I'm just so excited to be part of this company. And I'm so excited that longevity doctors like you, like, understand that this is what it's about, that we do want to live longer.
Yes, yes. And I think that we've hit an untapped market right now too, as well, for the ability to utilize the things that are already inside of us and just start aging in reverse. And they're talking a lot about it with like Hollywood stars and everything too. Like, oh, so and so's aging in reverse. And if you look into their history, they're utilizing stem cells.
Wait a minute. I love that. Aging in reverse.
Correct.
And they're using stem cells.
100%. 100%. Like, I mean, people talk about it with Jennifer Aniston, or people will like bring people to the forefront and say, like, how come they look 10 years younger than they did 2 years ago? So maybe they cleaned up their diet, maybe they stopped drinking, but then in reality, the other things they're doing is utilizing stem cells.
Wow. So
Yeah.
I think we should end with this. I would like to age in reverse
Yes.
by
Same.
utilizing stem cells.
That's samesies for me.
Doctor, thank you so much for spending this time with us. This has just been so enjoyable. I know there's going to be some people out in the world that hear this and understand longevity and also want to age in reverse. And so we sure hope that you've enjoyed this talk with Dr. Dawn Sparks, and we hope you have a great rest of the night. Have a great one. Thank you so much, Doctor, for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me, Marcy. Aloha, everyone.
Aloha. Good night.
Good night.
Well, you made it to the end, and I'm so proud of you. Please subscribe to my channel to learn more. Thanks so much.